Okay, the only other thing that you'll see is it'll say start. So I clicked start streaming, and there's a little recording button. It's going to take a while to come up, hopefully. So this is the delay, and you'll see the audio meter going. The thing they say that there's no feedback is just pressing mute on here, so there's no like double sound.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but again, all that on here.
Cool. Sounds good.
And then you can, we can like do the logging out and stuff like that because it's the same thing afterwards. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know, I was amazed when the weather was so nice outside. I was like, is anyone going to come to class? But you guys made it, all here indoors. We're waiting on a bunch, and we still have so much time before class starts. But how are you feeling? Temperature okay to start? If you want AC later, let me know. But I thought this felt nice to begin. I wore pants for the first time today, walking my dog. I was like, what does this feel like? Hi, Hannah. Good, nice to see you. Yes. I was gonna ask, have you seen? Come on, how's she doing? How's baby? Yeah, good. It's been like a month? Oh my goodness, that's nuts.
She's really, really small.
Yeah. What's her name again?
Serena.
Serena. So cute.
I've been getting daily updates.
Oh my gosh. I just forget that like we were all once a fresh baby.
I know.
Yeah.
No, it really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never been around someone for an entire pregnancy. Like, I just wasn't around
Whoa.
Like, God.
I know, God is real. Also, you are magic. You are absolute magic.
Amazing.
Wow.
And Serena's got her YTT together now. She made it.
She truly did, from start to finish. Oh, honey, and taught a class.
Yeah.
Didn't Molly teach before she gave birth? She's ahead of us all.
I know.
Wow. I'm so glad she's good. And what's her part? Kip? Doing good too?
Yeah. I mean, they're sleep deprived. They're doing great.
Yeah. When I was in Portland, I was hanging out with my cousin who had a baby 6 weeks ago. And similarly, I was like, you did this? You made this? Mind-boggling. And now there's this like other person in the room with us. Poof. Wow. Have you gotten to hold her?
Not yet.
Me either. Yeah, so you won't let me hold her until 8 weeks, until vaccine. So I was like, fine. I'll hold the bags. I know. I'm ready. So, because she is, collectively. You did. Yes, you did. Actively. Hello. Good. Oh, great. We'll also use a bolster today for those that just walked in, along with all the other props that you normally grab: blanket, strap, blocks, therapy balls. I always think it's just, my tactic in class is just grab everything in the beginning so I don't have to go back until I have to leave. But we'll use them all this evening. Hi. Hi. How are you? Good. It's nice to see you. Is September next Monday? It's shocking. Wild. I know, me too. Someone on the internet today posted, you might have seen that meme floating around of the 14 seasons of Philly weather. Did anyone see that? It's like winter, da, 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 the pollinating. That one made me laugh. And right now we're in false fall, where it's the teaser fall. We're going to get hot again, and then real fall starts to come up. So it feels so nice, but air conditioning might be on again next week. So we'll see how it feels. All right, y'all. While people trickle in, we'll get started. It's really sweet to be with you guys. There's lots of new, I'm looking at the video and the list just to make sure that we have enough room for everyone, but lots of new folks to class today. So on the off chance we didn't say hi to each other or get to meet one another yet, my name is Anisha, and we're so lucky to have Kale with us, who's starting assisting for all of our classes. So Kale just graduated teacher training in June. Oh my God. I was like, it's September on Sunday. Still alarming, but Kale just graduated, is teaching classes, and will be here with us during class, walking around the room. So for those that are new, the way that class is, either Kale or I will practice from the mat so that folks at home can have a visual. But if you have any questions about anything that I offer, anything that doesn't make sense, Kale is a phenomenal teacher and a great resource to pick her brain about anything because there's so much to share. Hi, Kyle. Perfect spot for you. So I think that's it. Yeah, there'll be points where maybe she'll suggest like moving your hands a little wider or giving some suggestions. Feel free to swat her away or ask her more clarity. There's no harm or foul for assists and things of that nature. Okay, today, how are we feeling? Any requests? Any things that your body is desiring? I have a long agenda of things to get to, but if there's any particular needs that you have, I'm more than happy to weave them into class. Any poses, body parts, some shoulder. We're going to start there and end there and be in the middle there too. Good? Well, you know, as always, if any requests come up or anything that you'd like to do on your own, modify, spectate, hydrate, take anything that it is that you need when you need it. I will say that until the very last class that I teach, which is the dream. So today we're going to be moving towards, yesterday in class there was a request for heart openers, chest openers, and hip openers, which made me immediately think about back bends, which the two go very sweetly with one another. So we're going to explore lots of variations of a version of dancer pose, of Natarajasana. And as we get into it, some of you might have heard the story already, but there's a very famous story, infamous story in the yogic and Hindu tradition about the pose that we're moving towards. And it's all based on this deity and the statue that's here in the front of the studio. So this is the great Lord of Destruction, the great Lord of Yoga. His birthday and the time that we talk about him often comes up in March. But he is Shiva, the great Lord of Destruction, who destroys universes and planets, not for the sake of chaos, hi Evie, hi guys, but for the sake of creating new life and creating new space for things to grow. And the more you get to learn about the statue itself and the deity, the more it begins to reveal itself back to you. It took me like 8 years of practicing at the studio to realize that he's standing on the back of a little baby demon with a mustache. And this is the demon of ignorance. And we'll talk about him as we start to get into the practice. But Natarajasana, or dancer pose, is just a phenomenal way of experiencing so many things all at once. And his dance itself, it's called the dance of cosmic rage and bliss, because he's dancing in the middle of a ring of fire on the back of a little baby demon. So food for thought, heart openers, shoulder openers, hip openers, we'll get to it all. But do take breaks, sip lots of water. Tell me if you want the AC on if it gets too toasty, and I'm very happy to turn it on because HVAC, we love to see it. So today actually we're going to start off in heart bench. So if you could, if there's a version of heart bench that you like to come into, please feel free to come into it. But we'll have ourselves with your feet facing the back of the room, your head up towards me. And the way that I like to set it up is one block at its highest height, the other block at its middle height. And if you want some extra luxury, you can always drape your bolster over the blocks. But as you come to lie down on the bolster or on the blocks themselves, you want the lower block to hit right in between your shoulder blades. So less on the middle of your spine, on the bendy part, but in the middle of the shoulder blades, right in the upper back. And then the top block will hit the back of your head, acting like support. And if something doesn't feel right, or something needs gentle adjusting, I know they get weebly very quickly, and then you come on down. There you go, like this. Perfect. You should be good to go. And if you come down and something doesn't feel quite right, or if it doesn't feel supportive enough, please call one of us over, and sometimes moving them an inch or two creates a world of difference. But as you come to lie on this bench for your heart, do anything you like with your legs. They might be draped long out in front of you. If there's stuff going on in your hips or in your low back, you might have your knees bent, feet wide and knees knocking into each other. But let your arms drape alongside of your body, and perhaps your palms flip up towards the sky to let the shoulder blades soften towards each other. And with your eyes softly closed or softly open, begin to listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it gives us a moment to see ourselves more clearly than ever before. To see each version of you, the you that you were, the you that you are, and the you that you are making space to become into. So with those eyes soft and that attention turned inward, can you continue to listen for your breath? Letting each inhale move from the nose down into your belly, then up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through every fiber of your being. Continue with a few more of those breaths at your pace, letting each breath gently dissolve the day that was. Each breath letting you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after, making space for what has yet to come. So as you take another breath in, down, and wide, let it fill you up. And exhale to offer all of that breath out through each direction of you. We'll start our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that same breath. So wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Take 2 more at your pace. At the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and really remember your breath. And now keeping that attention unwavering as best as you can, gently blink your eyes open if they're not already. And let's all bend the knees as you bring both feet onto the earth. Stay on your heart bench for a moment and use your hands to just release that first block, the highest block out from behind your head. If you have a bolster there, keep it there, but just let the block behind your head come out of the way. And then everyone interlace your hands to bring your hands to the back of your head. Bring your hands to the left. Dart your elbows up towards the ceiling. And as you gently tuck your chin in towards your chest for this heart bench crunch, keep your shoulder blades on the low block as you curl up and away from the earth. On your next inhale, drape yourself all the way back. And a few more times together. Big exhale to curl up and away from the earth. Can you follow your breath? Each inhale, letting you grow longer. Each exhale, slide the ribs back as you peel yourself away from the earth. 3 more times, following your breath. If you'd like to keep the knees bent, feet on the ground, please feel free to do so. Or you might straighten your legs for these last few with your heels heavy, your calves heavy, and the backs of your thighs heavy into the earth. Take another round or two at your pace. And when you finish your 3rd or 4th or 5th round, everyone bend your knees once again. Let your hands catch the backs of your legs and begin to roll yourself up off of the bench for your heart and make your way to tabletop facing the front of the room. So you can set your props to the side, have your blocks framing out the front of your mat, and make your way to all 4s in a tabletop position. Let your hands come nice and wide. Let your toes be tucked under behind you to feel the arches of your feet. And on your own, begin to round and arch your spine, following your breath. Let's go for 5 or 6 breaths, just moving at your pace. Feel free to stay rounded or arched for a few extra cycles of breath. You might start to get more serpentine, drawing one hip to one shoulder and breathing into the opposite waist. But as you're moving through rounds of cat and cow, as you arch your spine and lift your chin, can you gently close your mouth to feel more of the front of your throat? And as you round your spine into cat, even gently tuck the chin towards your chest to feel the back and sides of your neck. When you find your next breath, make your way back to table, come to your neutral spine. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Walk your knees back behind your hips. And with those toes tucked under, take your time to meet in downward facing dog, as many breaths or as much time as you need to find your way there. In your down dog, you might stay still. You might pedal the heels one at a time from side to side. But let it be an offering to your breath, a slower breath in through the nose, and a long, clear, steady breath out through every fiber of you. For this first down dog of class, walk your feet a hair wider than they already are. Lift your heels high and soften your knees so the backs of your legs can really release. Now with the knees soft, can you stick your tush up and back to the wall behind you? Find the curve in and through the low back. And now keeping the hips lifting high, maybe the legs move towards straight. As you press the thighs back, instead of locking the knees, think thighs towards the wall behind as the heels get heavier to the earth. Take another breath in and a longer breath out. And now lift the heels high, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. Feel free to bring blocks underneath your hands so the floor comes higher to meet you. You might widen your feet an inch or two to give your low back and hips some extra space. Even bend your knees a lot as you bow in towards yourself, but take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now climb your hands up to your hips, stand through your legs, and a big inhale to come up to rise as you release your hands. Heel toe your feet to bring them right under your hips, and on your inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, and exhale to soften the knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long through the spine, and on your exhale, step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Knees up or down, but can you think tail towards your heels as you slide the chest forward? Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Hands come as wide as your mat, and inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift through the heart. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog or tabletop or puppy pose for 3 deep breaths. The breath that moves first in the direction of your heart, the very center of your being. The heart then that awakens and illuminates the mind. And the mind inspires the full agency of your body. So as you feel every version of yourself, the breath that you have, the spirit that you are, find itself through the currents of your breath. Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And at the bottom of your breath, lift those heels high, soften your knees to come forward to the top of your mat. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen, grow long. And on your exhale, fold as you bow in towards yourself. Take a breath in to rise. Stand through the legs, reach up, touch the sky. And exhale to let the hands release by your sides. One more time, follow your breath more than my voice. Inhale to reach up. As you exhale, soften the knees to fold, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, plank pose, step it back. Take a full round of breath here. And exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Slow breath in to rise, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Hug the shoulder blades towards each other. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A slow, steady, deep breath in. And a long, clear exhale out through every direction of you. Take another full breath in, let it fill you up. And at the bottom of your exhale, lift the heels, soften your knees, and come forward to the top of your mat. Slow breath in to come up halfway. Let the balls of your feet be heavy. And exhale to fold as you bow in. Take a big breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, touch the sky. And exhale to release. Let the hands come down. Find one of your blocks and bring it in between your thighs to give your legs something to hug into. Think less high up in the groins, but more to the middle of your thighs themselves. And now squeeze that block together from right to left. Palms come to your thighs as you bend your knees and sit into chair pose, hugging the block together. Now push the hands into the thighs as you lift up through the heart. You can stay here. If you want to add some heat, you can reach the arms up to the sky. But as you hug the block together from right to left, can you think like you're shooting the block towards the floor between your legs? You might feel some space in the low back. Now take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Let your hips get heavier as you lift your heart up to the sky. Now inhale to come all the way to stand. Reach up, touch the sky as you grab your right wrist. Squeeze the block and grow up and over to the left for standing crescent. Give the block a hug. And as you tip up and over to the left-hand side, can you slide the ears back to lift your chin so there's space for breath to come through? Inhale to come all the way back up, reach up, touch the sky, and one last time, sit back into Utkatasana. Squeeze that block together, and now can you slide the ribs back like you did in those heart bench crunches? Slide the ears back to lift your chin, and if your arms are overhead, maybe the arms come back in line with your ears. Take a big breath in, stay for your exhale, sit 1 centimeter lower, and then inhale to rise, get as tall as you can, grab the left wrist, and grow up and over to the right. Squeeze that block together, feel both feet steady on the earth. And now press the ears back, the throat back, maybe the arms come back in line with your ears. Big breath in to come all the way up, touch the sky, squeeze the block, and as you exhale, fold, squeeze that block together with your legs. Now release the block finally in between the thighs. Fingertips to the earth as you step the left foot back to catch your lunge. You can bring your hands onto the earth or up onto blocks on either side of that right foot. And now left hand stays down as you reach your right fingertips forward towards the front of the room. Stretch through the right fingertips, tack the right hip back, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, we twist, revolve open to the right. Make a big circle with the right arm. Twice more, big inhale, bow in, reach forward through the right arm. As you exhale, revolve, open to the right. One more time, drink in your inhale. How long can you get? And as you exhale, stay twisting, open to the right-hand side. Now lift the left thigh higher to the sky, tack the right hip back, and then lean back against yourself. Take a deeper breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend into that right thigh. And then inhale to unwind, lower the right hand. We'll step it forward, all the hops you need, left foot to meet the right. Inhale brings you halfway up to lengthen. As you exhale, fold and bow in. One more side, left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge. When you come up onto fingertips or blocks, let there be a little space between your belly and your left thigh. You might even walk your left thigh to the left. Now keep your right hand down, reach your left arm forward. Tack the left hip back, stretch through the left fingertips, take a big breath in, and on your exhale, we revolve, open to the left. Twice more with your breath. Each time you bow in, breathe in. Every exhale, spin the belly and the chest to the left-hand side. Now the third, and next time you twist open to the left, stay revolved. Lift the back right thigh higher, tack your front left hip back, and then lean back against the stability that you've created. Big breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend 1 more inch into that left thigh. And then inhale to unwind, lower the hands, and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels 1 at a time. Take a breath to see what you're working with. And then inhale brings you to plank pose. On your exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. For this cobra, bring your hands wider than your mat onto the floorboards and either come up onto your ridge tops or finger tops as your elbows dart to the sky. Now feel an imaginary block between your thighs. Hug your legs together, and as you inhale, lift up through the heart. Good. Feel both legs against the earth. And as you hug the inner thighs in, press the feet down into the ground. Can you slide the ribs back and the throat back? Take a big breath in. And on your exhale, release, lower down. Hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Push the floor away from you to rise, plank or tabletop. And as you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Wait for the next breath in as you float the right leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. Spin your back heel to the floor, and on your inhale, rise for warrior 2. Check to see that the right knee and the toes are pointing straight ahead. And as you stretch through the fingertips, look away from the ground. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale, bend into that front thigh as you grow tall through the crown of your head. Now inhale to reach just the arms up to the sky. Bend your right elbow, give yourself a pat on the back, and let the left fingertips hold on to the elbow. Think right elbow towards the ceiling, and gently press your head back into the forearm to lift your chin. Can you slide the ribs back as you press your head back? Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might bend into that right thigh as you lift the right elbow up to the sky. And now release those arms to a T. Push the right leg straight. Take a breath, get long. And on your exhale, triangle pose. Right hand to your block or to the floor, in or outside of that front leg. Good. With both feet steady on the earth, feel both legs heavy and pull them in towards each other. Pull the right foot back and the left foot forward, like you have so many blocks between your thighs. You don't want to let them drop. Now keep that as you push down into the right arm. Stretch the left arm 1 more inch to touch the skylights overhead, and then lean back against yourself. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, and on your inhale, unwind. Lower the hands, bend the right knee. We meet again in downward facing dog. Before we go to the second side, give yourself a moment. Pedal the heels 1 at a time to notice what you feel from one leg to the other. Now on your inhale, float the left leg up and back. Step it through to catch your lunge. On your inhale, rise, Virabhadrasana 2, second side. Good. Here with the left knee pointing ahead, you might even squeeze your left heel 1 inch to the right and let that guide your left knee open towards the pinky toes. You'll feel that all the way up in the left butt cheek. Now look away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend into that left thigh. Inhale to reach just the arms to the sky. Give the left elbow a bend, pat yourself on the back, and let the right fingertips hold on. For my friends with very mobile shoulder joints who pulling the elbow to the middle of your head might feel good even, try and do the opposite. Push your left elbow forward into your right fingertips, and then use your right hand to grow the elbow to the sky. Maybe you feel that more in the muscle rather than in the joint. Press the head back, ribs back, take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend into that front thigh. And now release those arms to a T, press the left leg straight. How long can you get? Take a breath. And on your exhale, Trikonasana, left hand to your block or to the floor, in or outside of that front foot. If you want to bring the hand to the shin, you can. Try to press the shin up into your palms so that the left knee doesn't lock. And now hug the feet towards each other. Hug the feet in together as you slide the ears back, the shoulders back to lean back. Take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Then on your inhale, unwind, lower the hands to the earth. Take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, a breath to notice what you feel. And now a few more times together, inhale to plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Stretch your arms alongside of you. Flip your palms down to face the floor. We'll take a moment in locust pose. Now feel that imaginary block between your thighs. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. Shrug your shoulders to your ears and squeeze the shoulder blades together. On your inhale, lift your head, lift your heart, float your arms up off the earth. And as you exhale, let the legs lift up and away from the ground. Let your eyes either close or soften completely and really listen for your breath. Can you hug that imaginary block between your thighs and think inner thighs towards the sky? And now shrug the shoulder blades together, lift your palms 1 more inch, take a big breath in, and on your exhale, release as you lower down. You can make a pillow with your hands, rest on your forehead or on one of your cheeks, and really offer it to your breath. The more you breathe here into your belly, the more space you might find in your low back. The more you breathe into your chest, the more room you might feel in the back of your heart. So take 1 more full breath in here and a longer breath out through every direction of you. On your next few breaths, come back through center, hands to either side of your chest, tuck your toes, push the floor away from you to come up through to table or plank pose, and we'll meet in downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. From your down dog, float the right leg up and back. Step it forward to catch your lunge. And on your next inhale, we meet in high lunge. Reach the arms, the chest, and the torso to the sky. Good. Walk the right foot as much as you need over to the right so you're less on a tightrope. And then really lift up through that back thigh, the back heel. As you grow tall through the arms, look 1 inch away from the floor, higher than you are. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and let the right thigh get heavier to the ground. Now hands come to your hips. Take all the hops you need. Let's find some balance. Spring off the left foot, left thigh to your chest. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. And as the hips go back, think heart forward for seated figure 4. Flex that left foot like it's standing on solid surface. And as the hips go back and you lift the heart up, take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Let your hips get heavier to the earth. Now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Lower the left foot down. Feel your feet on the ground. Lean into the left foot. Lift your right heel. And for the standing thigh stretch, let your right hand hold on to the right foot. Now think imaginary block between the thighs. Hug your thighs towards each other. Shrug that right shoulder up and back. You can stay right here, maybe some resistance as you push your foot back into your hand. You lift up through the chest. Push the foot back as you lift up through the heart. You can keep your left hand where it is. It might come to the center of your chest, or 1 more breath, maybe reach it up to the sky as you take a deep breath in. Stay for your exhale, and then inhale to try and rewind it. Draw both arms up, right knee to your belly, get 1 inch taller as you thread the right foot back to lunge. Bring your hands to the floor, take it back to downward facing dog, and just feel gravity beneath you. You can stay right here. You can always lower your knees to the floor and take a few breaths close to gravity. Or let your breath take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. Maybe you take cobra or that wide-armed cobra, but wherever you are, in stillness or in movement, let it be an offering to your breath. Slow down your breath in, and each exhale, offer that breath out. When your next few breaths bring you to your down dog, there's no rush. Float the left leg up and back. Step it forward to catch your lunge. Slow, steady breath in brings you up to rise for a high lunge on the second side. Again, walk that left foot as much as you need to the left. And the steadiness from this pose is going to come from the leg you can't see, the back one. Lift the back thigh high. Wrap your right hip forward. And as you stretch up through the fingertips, take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into that front thigh. Now you can keep your arms overhead or bring them to your hips as we come up to stand. Scoop the right thigh up towards your chest. Right ankle crosses over the left as the hips go back like chair pose and you reach the chest forward for pigeon chair. Flex that right foot It'll steady the ankle and knee. And as the hips go back and the heart goes forward, take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. And now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Lower the right foot down, feel gravity. Lean into the right foot, lift your left heel, and let your left hand hold on to the left toes. Good, think invisible block. Hug your thighs towards each other, and now soften your right standing knee. Let it be soft. As you hug the thighs in, shrug the left shoulder up and back, and push the foot back into your hand. Stay here with the right hand, bring it to your heart or reach it up to the sky. But take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale as you lift up through the heart. And now rewind, inhale to rise, reach the arms up, the left knee to your belly, get an inch taller, and thread the left foot back to lunge. Hands to the ground, take it back to downward facing dog, and offer it to your breath. Pedal the heels to notice what you feel. All right, from down dog, lower the knees to the earth. Sit back onto your heels, sip some water. Take a breath. Toast. E. Feels nice to sweat sometimes. AC? No? Okay, great. That was me being like, yeah, okay. I'll turn it on for a second before we go to where we're going. So, does everyone have a strap? We can bring you one. If you don't, you can use your strap. And unravel it so it's like a big jump rope. And have it off to the side. We'll use it in a moment. So as you make your way to table again, walk your legs to come as close as they can come together. Thighs, feet, knees to touch. Tuck all 10 of your toes under. Squeeze your heels towards each other. And for Thunderbolt pose, Vajrasana, sit your hips back onto your heels. You might start to climb yourself up, hips over the heels. This is already enough sensation on the soles of the feet. If you want to alleviate some pressure, you might bring a block between your heels and your tush. You can also stand on your knees, keeping your toes tucked under. But as you hold the strap in your right hand, reach your right arm up to the sky, bend your right elbow and give yourself a pat on the upper back. Now left arm to the side, turn your left thumb to face the floor. And as you bend your left elbow, grab the dangly edge of the strap or your t-shirts, or if your fingertips reach, great. But feel these actions in Gomukhasana, in cow face pose. Think right elbow towards your face. Slide the left elbow more to the middle of your spine. Mine doesn't actually move, I just like to think it does. But as you tug your strap apart, create some resistance, press your head back to lift your chin, and then ribs back. Take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for the exhale. Can the crown of your head grow taller to the sky? And then inhale to unwind your arms, release. Come on back to all fours. You can shake out your feet or roll out your ankles to reset. And then one more time. Either do the toes tucked under again, or like hero's pose, Virasana, you point your feet behind you. Squeeze your heels towards each other. Sometimes at the last second, the calves get in the way and the heels go out. See if you can squeeze the inner heels in together. And then same, block to alleviate pressure, or you stand on your knees. But hold the strap in your left hand, reach your left arm up, bend your left elbow, give yourself a pat on the back, right arm to the side. Sometimes it helps to turn the thumb down as you grab the dangly edge of the strap behind you. And depending on, is anyone here ambidextrous? It's a question that I'm curious about. What is the population of class? I am not. My left arm is useless, but this side, the dominant side, always feels very different than the non-dominant. So just take notice of what you're working with. Try to wrap that left elbow towards your ear. Draw the right elbow to the middle of your spine. And now resistance. Tug your strap apart as you press your head back. And then the ribs back. Take a big breath in. Big exhale to offer that breath out. And then on your next inhale, unravel your arms. Come on back to all fours. You can ditch the strap. We'll use it later. And we'll meet again in downward facing dog as you lift your hips to the sky. Pedal the heels one at a time. Take a breath or two to notice what you feel and see. And now on your next inhale, float the right leg up and back. Step it forward to catch your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet over to the left to come into your wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. We'll take this one into a twist. So perhaps a thread the needle sort of twist. You keep your left hand on the floor or on a block, and now reach your right arm behind your left to grab the outside of your left thigh, your left calf, or your left ankle. Go above or below that left knee. Now walk your left hand way far forward to your friend or to the wall in front of you. And as you bend your right elbow back, let the belly and chest revolve to the back of the room. Notice if your hips are swaying with you, just like mine are. Can you lean your butt more to the right, to the front of your mat? Hug your feet together, and then turn the belly and chest to the back of your mat. Take a deeper breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then on your inhale, unwind. Lower the hands, turn the left knee and toes to catch your lunge, and take it back to downward facing dog. Now from down dog, walk your feet an inch or two closer towards your wrists. Are we all facing different directions? Okay, whichever way you face, let's do the other side. Thank you for listening so intently. Float the left leg up, step it through to catch your lunge. Pivot your hands and feet to the other side. Eventually, we'll all end up facing the front of the room. How did that happen? It is Mercury in retrograde. There's also something, I know, I'm trying to mirror. And 10 years in, sometimes rights and lefts will get you. Are we on the other side some way, somehow? Great. Now inhale to come up halfway. Keep your right hand down. Is that true? Left hand reaches for the left leg? Left hand reaches for the right leg? Oi, 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 thank you. All right, let the hand grab the back of the thigh or the other side that you didn't do the first round. Now think hips more to the front of your mat, belly and chest to the back of your mat, and then slide the ears back. You might inchworm that right hand forward towards the friend in front of you as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your inhale, unwind, lower the hands, turn the front knee and toes to catch your lunge, and we'll meet in downward facing dog, facing the front of the room. There you go. Okay, good. We're all in the same place. Pedal the heels. Notice what you feel from side to side. And now, lower the knees down onto the ground, and come onto your forearms with your elbows right underneath your shoulders. So my friend Leo taught me this trick, which really helped. We'll come into dolphin pose in a moment. I was always taught bringing your hands to the elbow creases, but when that happened for me, my elbows would always slip off to the side. So Leo suggested, let your hands catch the tops of your biceps. So let the hands catch the shoulders and see how close your elbows are together. Keep them there as you lower your forearms to the floor. Interlace your fingers, tuck all 10 toes under, and now lift your knees and hips up to come into dolphin for this version of down dog on your forearms. Now feel that imaginary block between your inner thighs. I know it was a while ago, but can you envision it? Hug your inner thighs towards each other. Try to shoot the block up towards the wall behind you. And as you push into your forearms, lift your hips up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and a longer breath out. Take one more full breath in here. Let it fill you up. And as you exhale, lower the knees to the earth. Take a breath to rest in child's pose or fully on your belly or in tabletop. Just let your head be below your heart for a breath or two.
That really helped.
Didn't it help?
Closer, I feel like shoulder pain sometimes when I think when I was keeping it.
Me too. Yeah. It's one of those things in dolphin. It's all about, like an inch of difference in the elbows makes such a space. And it also helps you lift your head higher up off the ground because the base is narrower. Yay, I'm glad. I'll tell them. Okay. Can we do it one more time? And then we move on. So this time, for fun, block, not an imaginary block, but a very real block between your inner thighs. So come into tabletop. Place the block between your legs. Tuck all 10 toes under. And now squeeze that block together as you lower your forearms to the earth. If that trick helped you, grab your biceps, bring your elbows close together, and then lower your forearms down, taking that awkward thumb or pinky on top. Now can you, before we lift up, shrug your shoulders to your ears, soften between your shoulder blades, and notice if the ribs are dropping like mine are. Lift the bottom ribs up to the sky. Squeeze the block, tuck all 10 toes under as you lift your knees and hips up off of the ground. Now push down into your forearms to lift your hips higher. Squeeze the block and try to shoot the block back to the wall behind you. And then maybe, completely optional, you walk your feet, you tiptoe them an inch or two closer towards your elbows. As you push your forearms down, lift your hips higher. Take one more breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then when you're ready, there's no rush. Lower the knees to the earth. You can ditch the block as you rest for a breath or two in child's pose. Whew. Okay. Come on up to a seat. And now we've made it. Drink some water, take a breath. So we're going to explore dancer pose in a variety of different ways. The first one we'll do is with the bolster. So it'll look like this, and I'll show you quickly. We'll do it twice on each side to give you some options. So dancer pose traditionally is the one that's standing up. You might have done it before this one. There's ones where you lean forward. There's ones where you lean back. We're going to explore that on the floor with a little boost on our hips. So it looks like this. The bolster or a blanket or whatever you need comes right above your pubic bone. So it comes somewhere to your belly. And it starts off this way. One forearm comes down. You bend one knee. And then you reach your hand back for the foot. As you draw the heel towards your hip, you'll get a big thigh stretch here. Lots of space in that front hip. And you shrug the shoulder up and back. And then the action can be, as you push your foot back into your hand, you might lift up to rise to give you some space up and through the chest. The thing I just want to point out, because we're going to do this 3 more times, and it is a big thigh stretch, it's a big chest opener, but occasionally, for years, I used to feel this in the low back, and the only unflattering way to show this to you is in the back view, is occasionally what happens is when you bend the knee, this thigh goes off way to the side, and when you lift up, if not today, maybe one day, maybe never, I always feel a tightening and something not great here in the low back, which is why we did so much of that block work of hugging the thighs in. It's like you're hugging an imaginary block between your thighs, even as you lift up, to give the low back space, steadiness, so you find lots of room up here rather than a crunching down here. Bless you. You want to try it out? Lots of options to explore. So you can bring your bolster somewhere to the middle of your mat. Nice and long. You can also use a rolled up blanket just to give you a little boost. And then come to lay on it so that let's actually do pelvis on the bolster. So slightly below your belly button or around your belly button and the very front of your hips. Now come up onto your forearms. You can be here the whole time because this might feel nice. Feel free to observe or close your eyes and take a few breaths. Or feel the imaginary block between your thighs. Hug your inner thighs in. Now press the left toes down into the floor as you bend your right knee. Left forearm down, reach your right hand around for the right foot. Start first by drawing the right heel towards your tush, and then shrug the right shoulder up and back to find space in the chest. Breathe here. Press down into that left foot, the one that's long. Then if you want to lift up, push your right foot back into your hand. You might lift your left forearm up off the floor, and as the ribs slide back, push the foot back to lift the chest. Take another breath in and a deeper breath out. Good, and then on your inhale, slowly lower back the same way you entered. Lower both forearms to the earth. You can give your hips a wiggle or stay still. How'd that feel? Questions? What about toes tucked under? Yeah, toes, that's a great version. The idea is that leg, now it'll be the right leg. So you don't want it to be asleep, right? You want it to feel really active like it would in lunge, like it would in all those variations. So maybe the top of the foot or the toes tucked under could be an option. So let's try the other side. Bend your left knee. Right forearm down and reach your left hand around for the left foot. So either the right toes are flat on the ground or the right toes are tucked under. And as you draw the left heel towards your tush, shrug the left shoulder up and back. And if you want to lift up, push the left foot back into your hand as you press through the right palm to lift the chest. See if you can turn your belly from left to right. Turn your gaze towards the front of the room. Take a bigger breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale to release. Lower down. Wiggle your hips. Take a breath. Okay. Good? Great. If it's not good, I also accept love mail and hate mail for any of these poses. So we're going to try one more variation with the strap, and then we'll do it standing up. So this one, you bring the strap around your foot somehow, and you can have as much or as little slack as you would like. But the idea is you're holding the strap so that you can draw your elbow to the side and then overhead, like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. So side and overhead, and as you push the foot down, push the hand down, maybe you push your foot back into your hand to lift up through the chest. If you feel this in your low back, like I am right now, hug your thighs together, ribs back, head back. Yeah? And then when you want to come out, be careful. Slowly release. So if you haven't picked a side already, right knee bends. Use your right hand to loop a strap around the foot. And then give yourself enough slack that you can bend your right elbow like you're making a bicep. Draw your right elbow to the right and then up to the sky as if your right hand is patting you on the upper back. And now push your foot back into the strap as you lift up through the heart. Push your left palm down and forward to lift up through the heart. Hug your thighs together, slide the ribs back, and drink in your breath. Beautiful. And then inhale to slowly give yourself slack on the strap to melt onto the floor. It's nice to hear you breathing in there. How'd that go? Good? Thank you. I'm getting nods, so I'm accepting. Let's do the other side before we're uneven for too long. So do the other leg. Bend your left knee if that's the other side. Lasso your strap around the foot. And with your right forearm down, draw your left elbow to the side, like where's the beach? What's that line? The show? No. Okay, draw your left elbow to the side and then up to the sky. Give yourself a pat on the back. Hug your thighs together. Hug them in, hug them in, hug them in. And as you push the long leg down, push your foot back into the strap and lift up through the heart. That palm on the floor, push it down and forward to lift up through the heart. Beautiful. Take a breath in. Stay for your exhale. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, release the slack on the strap to lower all the way back down to the ground. Press up through to tabletop. Come up to your hands and your knees. Let's take a few twists for some counter poses. And then we'll do it one more time standing up. So from table, make your way to all fours. Take a breath or two here. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand for this lizard lunge shape. You can be on your fingertips, you can be up onto blocks. But we did this twist very early in class. Left palm down, bring your right palm to your right thigh. Take your time as you turn your belly button to the right. Hug the left shoulder up and back. Hug the right shoulder up and back. And then slide the ears back to lift your chin. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might bend 1 more inch into that front right thigh. Then on an inhale, unwind, lower the hands. Come back through to table. When you're ready, we switch sides. Left foot to the outside of your left hand for that lizard lunge. Check to see that your right knee isn't directly under your right hip. You might walk it an inch or two further back. And then with the right palm down, left palm to the left thigh. From your belly button, turn your chest open to the left. As you hug both shoulder blades together, slide the ears back. Take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale as you bend 1 more inch into that front left thigh. And then on your inhale, unwind, lower the hands, plant your palms, and let's meet in downward facing dog. Now in this down dog, walk your feet a hair wider than they already are. Lift your heels and soften your knees. Now stick your tush up and back to the wall behind you. Find that curve in and through the low back. keeping your tush lifting high. Can you slide the ribs back, push through those arms, and maybe the legs begin to straighten as you press the thighs back and let your heels get heavier to the earth. Walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Tiny bend in your knees, and one palm at a time, walk your hands back to meet your feet so you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Let the head be heavy here, let the knees be soft, and with the feet nice and wide, bow in towards yourself. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. And now hands climb up to your hips. Take a big breath in to come all the way up to rise as you release your hands. Okay, shake it out, sip some water. Last round, we're gonna try out. So we did it on the floor a bunch, and now we'll do one more standing before we do some twists and some therapy ball work to lie down. So this is what it'll look like. I'll show it to you first, and then you can talk through it. I'll talk you through it. Similar, but different. You'll bring one of your feet into the strap and cross the handles. Now you step one foot over and through the X, and here's the key. You lean into that front leg. Let it be like a lunge. There should be enough slack on the strap. Some people might have shorter straps. If you want to grab a longer one, we can bring one to you. But draw your elbows to the sides and then up to the sky, like you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Now, same actions. Instead of knee and thigh out, hug that thigh to the middle. Hug the thigh to the middle, push the foot back, and then completely optional, you might start to walk your hands down the strap towards that foot. And then you dial it all the way back in. Hug the thigh to the middle of your mat, push the foot back, and you lift up through the heart. It's as if you're trying to close this energetic cycle of your head reaching for your foot and your foot reaching for your head. This is one of those poses that I've taken a picture of myself on my phone, being like, oh God, my foot's just gonna curl over my eyeballs. And I look at the picture and my foot's here and I'm out here. And that's just proving the point that it's not about what it looks like. The aim of the game isn't to try and reach the foot. It's to do these actions in the legs, hugging your thighs in, keeping the ribs steady so you find so much broadness through the chest and steadiness through the low back. Yeah? If you saw that and you're like, I'm good, I don't want to try it, please don't, no obligation. You can hold the foot and work here, the variation we did before. So lots of choices. So if you haven't picked a leg yet, find your strap, big old jump rope. Right foot, unless you pick the left, then do the left. And then cross the handles, make a little bow. Now instead of stepping the left foot behind, step it over and through. Lean into your left foot like a big old lunge. Bend your left knee. Now as the left foot goes forward, bend your right knee. Draw your right heel towards your tush. And now draw the elbows to the sides and then up overhead. Soften your front standing knee. Hug the right thigh to the middle of your mat. Push your foot back into the strap as you lift your heart. And then completely optional, maybe you start to walk your hands down the strap towards that right foot and you dial it back in. Hug the right thigh to the left. Push the foot back as you lift up through the heart. Take a deep breath in. And whenever you're ready, sometimes it's a graceful exit, sometimes it lassos you out, but somehow make your way up. Beautiful. How'd that feel? Good. Yeah. It's one of those where, like I mentioned, there's an infinite version of dancer poses, and one of them is with your hands holding the foot. Never in this lifetime or my next lifetime will that ever be something that I ever do, but the strap gives you so much access into finding what it's like to get tall and spacious. Should we try the other side? Strap around the left foot, make the lasso, and step your right foot over and through. Now bend your right knee a lot. This will help with the steadiness. Soften your right knee. Lean into the right foot, lift your left heel up, and draw your elbows to the sides and then up overhead. Now hug the left thigh to the right as you push your foot back into the strap and lift your heart. That's it. Stay here, or if you want to walk your hands down the strap, you can. But then dial it back in. Soften your right standing knee. Hug the left thigh to the middle of your mat. Push your foot back and lift the heart as you drink in your breath. Whenever you want to come out, release the slack on the strap to slowly lower the feet to the ground and let gravity find its way beneath you. Nice. Okay, the shortest version of the story I can tell you, you can ignore this as we make our way to rest for a moment, but he is dancing in the ring of fire on the back of a baby of a demon, the demon of ignorance, Apsamara. And there's many traditions that say he's dancing on the back of ignorance to keep ignorance at bay, like, let me squelch it down so that I never have to have it obstruct me. But in this tradition that we study from in this practice, he says, no, what a gift it is to be ignorant of some things, because it shows me how much I don't know. It shows me a world of which I don't know and how much wisdom I still have to see. Because one of the great lords of yoga, the one who can take over, consume, destroy worlds, create new worlds, he still has the ability to recognize what it is that he doesn't know, and he keeps it very close by to him. So that's just one facet, and there's like, he's holding something in each one of his hands. It's a beautiful story that each time you hear a version of it, you get to learn more and more about yourself. Okay, ditch the strap. Come to stand when you're ready. We'll make our way down. Take a big breath in, get tall, and generous bend in your knees as you fold over your legs. Plant your palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet all the way back to the back of your mat to bring it to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. A breath or two to notice what you feel. And now we'll meet on our backs. However you'd like to get there. You can come through the knees and flip over. You can come onto your belly and flip over. But have your heads up towards me, your feet to the wall behind you, and have your therapy balls close by, and have one of your blocks close by. If anyone needs therapy balls, Kale and I can bring them over to you. If you'd like to use them, feel free to just wave a hand over at us. But come to lie on your back, have the therapy balls and your blocks, just set them off to the side. And now bend your knees as you bring both feet onto the floor. With your feet nice and wide, take a big breath in. And on your exhale, drop both knees to the right hand side. Wait for your next inhale as both knees come back up through center, feet nice and wide. And big exhale to drop your knees over to the left. Do that once more on your own. As you inhale, bring the knees through the middle. And exhale to let the legs drop over to the right. Let the belly be soft. Let the hips be soft as you bring the knees back up and drop them over to the other side. Now, once you've gone evenly, bring your knees back through center. Give the right leg a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Make any circles with that right foot or the right ankle in one or the other direction. You might spread the right toes or point the right toes. And as you take a deep breath in, on your exhale, straighten your left leg long in front of you if it's not already. For a twist, let your left hand hold your outer right thigh and move that right leg up and over to the left. I like to bring blocks or even your bolster underneath your right thigh, because less about how deep of a twist you can be in, but how much can both shoulders be on the earth? How much can the right shoulder soften and the back of your head soften? So as you take a deep breath in, let it fill your belly, let it fill your heart. Stay for the exhale, let the right shoulder and the right shoulder blade melt into the ground. Now on your next inhale, uncross and unwind your legs as you draw the knees back up through center. Give the left leg a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Make some circles. You spend so much time on the feet. Just see what it feels like to let gravity, let the soles of your feet be heavy. And now straighten the right leg long out in front of you. For the twist on the other side, right hand holds the left thigh as you move that left leg up and over to the right. Bring those blocks or blankets underneath that left thigh as needed. And as you let both shoulder blades and the back of your head soften to the ground, take a deep breath in and a long, steady exhale out through every direction of you. On your next inhale, uncross and unwind your legs as you draw your knees up through center. Give them both a squeeze in towards your belly. Make any circles in one or the other direction. And as you take a deep breath in, let it fill you up. And on your exhale, release the hold of your legs. Now locate your therapy balls. I'll talk us through therapy balls in the glutes. If there's any other region that you know that you like to go on your own, please feel free to do so. Or you might set up early for rest because we'll meet you there very soon. But if you're working with those therapy balls, take them out of their tote. And now with your feet on the ground, knees bent, lift your butt up just enough to pop the therapy balls to the top of your butt cheeks on either side of your tailbone, either side of your spine. There's no wrong place for them to go, just somewhere where you can be curious about, where you can really feel for your breath. And once you find them to the very top of your tush, let your arms fall anywhere they fall as you take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let all of that breath go. Now with your feet wide, knees bent, swivel your hips and tush to the right as you let your knees move to the left. And then hips to the left as your knees move to the right. And just continue on your own, zigzagging your hips and knees from side to side, feeling the therapy balls moving along the upper fibers of your tush. The more the hips wiggle, the wider they might get. You can always readjust them. But take a deeper breath in and even open your mouth to let all of that breath go. Now, once you've come back through center, one more place. Use your hands to lower the therapy balls an inch or two to come more to the middle of your tush, slightly lower than where you just were. Start them relatively close together because eventually they'll get wider. And as they come to the middle of your butt, take a big breath in. Open your mouth to let all of that breath go. Then begin that slow swivel again. Sway your hips to one side and knees to the other. And continue to zigzag and sway your hips from one side to the other, feeling the therapy balls moving along the middle fibers of your tush. You'll start to feel them getting wider and wider apart. And eventually they'll end up more towards the outer edges of your hips, the outer seams of your pants. You can also use your hands to let them get there. And once you find them nice and wide, let them stay. And draw your hips back through center. Heel toe both feet to the left side of your mat. And just drop your right knee to the right so that right therapy ball finds its way into your outer right butt cheek. Try and unclench the fingers, unclench the fists, unclench the jaw. As you take a big breath in through the nose and open your mouth to let all of that breath go. And now draw just the right knee through center. Draw your feet to the middle of your mat. Heel toe both feet to the right side as you drop just your left knee to the left, letting that left therapy ball find its way into your outer left tush. For some of us, this is manageable. For others, like me, who knows what's happening? But if you see, can you unclench your left tush, unclench your jaw, unclench your fists? And on your next inhale, draw the left knee back through center, draw your feet through center, and use your hands to pop the therapy balls out as you let the weight of your tush drop down to the ground. Just take a breath here for a moment into what you don't see with your eyes, but you can more than clearly feel. And now, however the therapy balls exit, do let them fully exit for the remainder of rest, for sometimes they create more tension than softness if they stay for the remainder of Shavasana. But we'll make our way towards rest next, so give yourself a few moments to add or remove any layers or props. You might let your hair down, you might let your glasses set safely off to the side. You have lots of props available today, so if you'd like to use a bolster under your knees to let the low back soften to the earth, a bolster over your belly or over your hips to add some weight to ground you into the earth. But if there's anything you can do for yourself, to become even 1% more comfortable than you are already, please feel free to take it. I'll talk you through a few rounds of pranayama, of some breath work, to help prepare the body for rest. You're more than welcome to simply listen and truly follow along at your pace. As you take a breath in through the nose, let it fill your belly and your heart. And exhale through your nose to let all of that breath go, a moment to reset. Take that once more, fill the belly, fill the heart, the crown of your head, and exhale through the nose to let all of that breath go. For this interrupted or suspended breath, Viloma Pranayama, picture your next inhale in 3 separate parts. From the nose, inhale to just fill your belly. Pause for a moment. Next, fill the lungs. Hold here. Third, fill up into the heart. Pause for a moment. And then exhale through the nose to offer all of that breath out. Hold at the bottom of your breath and begin again. Inhale to fill the belly. Retain. Fill the lungs, the sides of your waist. Hold. Fill the back and front of your heart. Pause. And exhale through the nose to let all of that breath go. Inhale to fill the belly. Retain. Fill the lungs. Hold here. Fill the back and front of your heart. Pause. And exhale through your nose to offer the breath out. Twice more. Slow inhale, the belly expands. Retain. Fill the lungs. Hold. Fill the heart. Pause. And exhale through the nose to offer that breath out. One final round. Inhale, fill the belly. Pause. Fill the lungs. Hold. Fill the back and front of your heart. Pause. And exhale through the nose to offer that breath out. Without any holds or pauses, take a breath to fill your belly, your heart, your throat, the crown of your head. And as you exhale, let the breath pour itself out and through you. Begin to find the slow, steady cadence of your breath. And it's here where each breath that you take dissolves the practice that was. Each breath that you take lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath that comes after makes space for what has yet to come. So can you let every cycle of your breath let you become heavier into the earth? And the heavier you let yourself become, the lighter and more spacious you may just begin to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let the breath that you have begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that just feels sweet to you. You might roll your wrists or ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head from side to side, heavy against the earth. Or just watching for those around you and any props. Perhaps you reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, we'll meet with the arms overhead, the knees bent as you roll to any side of your choice to coil into yourself. Take a breath or two here, and when the time comes, can push down into the ground to rise to your seat facing the front of the room. As you come into your tall spine with your eyes softly closed or softly open, can you once again listen for your breath? Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through every direction. We'll finish our time together with one more of those same breaths. You might place your hands to anywhere that feels like center for you. As you take a deep breath in, to let it all go. You might bow your head to your hands or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple and sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to your heart and the hearts of each other who practiced right alongside next to you. And with all of our hearts, Kale and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so very much for being here. Thank you. Drink lots and lots of water. Take such good care of yourselves. A few studio announcements. I'm teaching my last class outdoors for the summer. I have only taught 3. This is the last one because I love air conditioning on Sunday. So I'll be teaching the 10 a.m. at Ray Street Pier. If you're free and you want to come outside, I would love to see you. And then the week after, it is story time. So it's one of the great gods' birthdays, the elephant-headed god in the month of September. And we'll be doing a little story time session on a Sunday evening. So if that's something you're interested in or know people who are, come find me. I can tell you more about it, but would love to see you. And then starting at the end of September, my dear beloved Adriana and I will be starting immersion and teacher training. So immersion is for the first 4, thanks Kyle, the first 4 months where you get to deep dive into philosophy, anatomy, the decolonizing of yoga with phenomenal guest teachers. And then if you want to continue on to teacher training, that starts in January and goes until June. I could chat with you about it forever. Other people here have taken it. You do not have to chat with them if they don't want to chat with you, but there's lots of resources available, so come find us. And then I think that's it studio-wise. I won't be here next week. I am going out of town with my dad, so I'll be back next week, but Deb will be teaching. But I'll see you soon. Anyone else have announcements? Things going on in your lives, your worlds? Things that anyone going to Melissa Etheridge on Thursday? And the Indigo Girls at the Mann Center. Before you guys got in, I was swiffering, listening to her on stage. I'm so excited. If you are there and we see each other, say hi. And if you're not there, I'll chat your ear off about it the week afterwards. All right, y'all, see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Thank you. Okay, ready? You go back.
Okay.
You click something so you can sign out.
Okay. Got it.
And then on here, just the most important part is